was almost midnight when Daniel stepped onto the last train home. The platform was empty. No voices, no footsteps, just the distant hum of the train engine waiting in the dark. Daniel had worked late again. His body was tired, and all he wanted was to get home, collapse on his bed, and forget about the long day. The train doors slid open with a metallic hiss. Inside, the carriage was nearly empty. Only one other passenger sat near the back. A man. He was sitting completely still, staring down at the floor. Daniel hesitated for a moment before sitting near the front of the carriage. The train doors closed, and the train slowly began moving through the dark tunnels. For the first few minutes, everything was normal, just the sound of the train rattling along the tracks. But then Daniel noticed something strange. The man behind him hadn't moved at all, not even once. No shifting, no coughing, no looking around, just sitting there, perfectly still. Daniel glanced at the reflection in the train window. The man was staring directly at him. Daniel quickly turned around. The man looked away instantly, pretending to stare at the floor again. Daniel felt a chill run down his spine. Maybe he was just paranoid. Maybe the guy was just tired. The train stopped at the next station. The doors opened. No one got on. No one got off. But something strange happened. When the doors closed and the train started moving again, the man was sitting closer, 2 rows closer. Daniel frowned. He was sure the man had been much farther back before. Maybe he moved while Daniel wasn't paying attention. Daniel tried to ignore it. He pulled out his phone. No signal. Of course, subway tunnels never had signal. Another few minutes passed. The train slowed again. Another empty station. The doors opened. Still no one there. When the train started moving again, the man was only 1 row behind him. Daniel's heart began to pound. He never heard him move, not a single footstep. Daniel slowly turned his head. The man was smiling, not a normal smile, a wide, unnatural smile. His eyes looked dark, almost empty. Daniel stood up quickly and moved to another seat further away. He didn't care if it looked weird. Something about that man was wrong, very wrong. The train lights flickered once, then twice. For a moment, the entire carriage went dark. When the lights came back on, the man was sitting directly across from him. Daniel jumped back in shock. I didn't hear you move," Daniel whispered. The man tilted his head slowly. Then he spoke. His voice was barely louder than a whisper. "You weren't supposed to notice." Daniel's stomach dropped. "What do you mean?" The man leaned forward slightly. "I ride this train every night." Daniel tried to laugh nervously. "Okay, good for you." But the man didn't laugh. He kept smiling. "I ride it," he continued softly, "because this train doesn't stop where you think it does." Daniel felt cold all over. "What are you talking about?" The train suddenly slowed again, but this time the windows showed nothing outside. No station, no lights, just darkness. The train stopped anyway. The doors slowly opened, but outside, there was no platform, just an endless black void. Daniel stared in horror. What is this?" The man stood up slowly. His smile widened even more. "This," he whispered, "is the last stop." Daniel looked back toward the open doors. The darkness outside seemed to move, like something inside it was breathing. Then the man said something that made Daniel's blood run cold. "You weren't supposed to get on this train." And suddenly, the lights went out again, and this time, they didn't come back on.